Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
A BBC investigation has found that online streaming apps used by children to make live broadcasts are being infiltrated by men trying to groom them. It comes as the National Crime Agency says it arrested more than 190 men across the UK in a single week in connection with sexual offences against children. In this special report, Angus Crawford discovered how quickly suspects try to target children using the streaming apps, the latest front in the battle against online sexual abuse.
Meet Kuds. She's 20 and an online safety campaigner, who we've transformed into 14-year-old Samira. She's going to try some of the most popular live streaming apps to see what it's really like to be a teenage girl online.
I am Samira, I'm 14
First, Periscope, Twitter's live video app, used by children all over the world.
So there's quite a few people within seconds, 5, 6, 7 people joining.
In minutes, the conversation turns sexual.
She's 14, and yet someone's just asked her to take her shirt and her bra off.
Next is LiveMe, only launched last year, now with more than 20 million users. Some send Samira direct messages no one else can see, clearly trying to groom her. Omegle is a one-to-one video chat app that randomly connects her to users around the world. Most are men, some expose themselves.
I just said hi, he said may I show it, I said what, he's got it out. Pretty much as soon as I started, all I said was hi, I think I was 14 and a girl, and then I was just inundated.
There's a guy going on cam. Mm. What's he doing?
Well, he was naked.
Oh, he was naked?
Mm-hmm.
And you told him you were 14?
Mm-hmm.
And imagine if you had been a 14-year-old girl.
My first reaction would be to be confused. For a second, it's nice having the attention of the heart, but then it gets quite dark quite quickly.
And it's happening to real children right now. Look at this broadcast on Periscope. 2 girls we can't identify, around 11 years old. 2,000 people are watching. Some dare them to lift their shirts. Read the comments as men ask them to go further. For those girls, it may have seemed like fun, but it can be devastating.
I found her inconsolable.
This is an actress, but the words are true. Those of a mother whose 10-year-old daughter tried out Omegle for fun.
He switched his webcam on, showed her his private parts, and asked her to take photos of herself, which she did.
He was never located. This mother says parents have to talk to their children about the dangers.
Hi, I'm Sam.
That's also the message behind this video launched today. But for some in law enforcement, that's not enough. The tech companies also need to do more.
Well, the industry has emerged very rapidly, so I think it's important to reflect on how they're ensuring that younger children aren't using their services, and age verification, maybe thinking about the moderation sort of techniques that they might be able to use.
No one from these app companies would be interviewed, but Periscope says it doesn't tolerate this behaviour. Omegle and LiveMe didn't respond to our requests. When children can broadcast to the world from their own bedrooms, whose job is it to keep them safe?
And Angus is with me now. Angus, you can just imagine how worried parents would be watching your report.
I think there's 2 really important messages that come out of that report. The first is to parents: get to know these apps. They're not secret. Get to know how they can be used safely. Talk to your children and talk to their schools as well. The other really important message, I think, is a wake-up call for the tech companies themselves. They have, as I said, effectively created a means for children to broadcast from their bedrooms to the world. But the world can look back into those bedrooms, reach back into those bedrooms. And now the authorities here are effectively saying it's time the tech companies police this space properly and effectively.
Angus, thanks very much.
Now, there was a fresh warning today about the dangers facing young people who use live streaming sites. The National Crime Agency says sex offenders are increasingly using the sites to groom and abuse victims. That campaigners said no child under the age of 6 should have unsupervised access to the internet. The latest figure suggests more children and teenagers are using it than ever before. Ofcom estimates that 92% of 5 to 15-year-olds are regularly using online, up from 87% last year. More than a quarter of 10-year-olds have a social media profile, rising to around half of all 11-year-olds. Well, our national editor, Allegra Stratton, reports on the growing allure and the dangers of the online world.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I go online to try and abuse kids.
A new warning from the National Crime Agency. Children must be aware sex offenders are trying to use social media live streaming to exploit them.
Sex offenders are using this technology. They are gaining the confidence of children. And once they've gained that confidence and they've obtained intimate details and sometimes intimate images, then they're using that to blackmail them.
Oh, you really like that one?
These 17-year-olds use Snapchat and Instagram, platforms that do allow live streaming. They say you just need to be vigilant.
Of course there's going to be like dangers in doing anything on social media where you can't see who you're talking to or who can like see you. It's like you just have to be very cautious of that.
And also I think you always seem to get people who kind of try to add you, and it's quite obvious that you know they're not your friends.
Yeah, it's like, don't be stupid.
Yeah,
that's what I think
it's kind of like when you look on your Instagram or on your Snapchat and you get someone that you don't know has added you. It's kind of like, why would you add them back anyway?
But it's not just teenagers. In the US, Facebook launched an app for children as young as 6 to chat on their parents' account. The Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, criticised them, and campaigners called for a ban on unsupervised social media use for children under 6.
Digital habits start very, very young, and if you don't think about it 3 to 5, you've got no hope by the time they're 15.
Something parents here at Topsy Turvy World are well aware of.
Well, it's difficult because, you know, everybody seems to have them, and then if your child sees another child with one, they obviously want to join in. They don't want to be left out, do they?
They use the screen at school, so I think there are other things at home they could do after school than just sit in front of the screen or in front of the television or an iPad to be able to entertain themselves.
Facebook today insisted their new app was safe for children. What's certain is that much more time will be spent debating the merits of screen time. Allegra Stratton, ITV News.
Now, an investigation by Channel 4 News has found young children being contacted by adults on YouTube and tricked into making intimate, inappropriate videos for total strangers. The children are then encouraged to make more specific videos and asked for their contact details. The Children's Commissioner for England described the behaviour as grooming. It comes as YouTube announced it is to significantly increase staff who track extremist, violent and predatory content. Jeff White has this report.
Even when you feel all alone in the world, it's here you can find someone just like you.
Days like this. These videos are how YouTube wants the world to see it.
This is what family's about right here. That's the power of YouTube.
Caring and sharing, uploading and uplifting.
All of you.
But now we're seeing the tech giant's darker side.
I got a surprise for you.
Hey!
You want to see the surprise?
First, the dad who gained millions of views with upsetting pranks like the frog in the bath trick. Then, the children's videos inundated by sexual comments. Now, evidence of something even worse.
We found adults using YouTube to message young children and groom them into making inappropriate videos on demand. And the children are falling for the trick, filming intimate footage of themselves in their bedrooms for the gratification of total strangers, who then push them to go further.
Here's how it works, and these are real quotes. Children are contacted with what sounds like a dare.
Can you please do my challenge?
Why?
Yo, dude, do it. It gets a lot of views, bro.
But in the cases we've looked at, the kids are given a link to this instruction sheet. We've seen children following these commands to the letter. Innocent fun? Perhaps. But look what happens next. Once the clip's uploaded, the demands increase.
Something like this, sweetheart. Could you do this for me, please?
Bare feet now. Next part without socks, please. If you do it, I'll subscribe to you.
We've seen examples of children complying with these escalating demands. And then come the requests for contact details.
Do you have any social media?
Again, some children willingly comply.
Yes, I'll edit it into the description. My Instagram is...
It's mainly challenge videos, and as you can see, these are
young kids.
Young kids, yeah.
When we showed our evidence to the Children's Commissioner for England, she didn't mince her words.
It's clearly grooming, luring them into kind of behaviours that are very negative and potentially dangerous. These are individual young children in their bedroom, a place where they should be the most secure place in the world. You have adults who are getting access to their time in that bedroom, access to not only pictures of them, but also influencing their behaviour. When you ask 5 to 15-year-olds whether they'd rather watch YouTube or TV, they say YouTube. So part of this is the fact they have such a large part to play in children's lives now.
A small group of volunteers helps YouTube police the site. Sal is one of them. We've disguised her identity because of the sensitive nature of some of the videos she helps remove. She says the volume of work is huge.
It's an impossible number. You can't review 600 hours of content every minute. You would need thousands of people to do that.
Sal believes YouTube's doing its best to tackle child exploitation, but says the challenge videos have had serious consequences.
A lot of the time, predators seem to attempt to get the child to produce more material or go off-site into a different contact method, such as email or Skype or some kind of private messaging.
Have there been instances you've come across where this has actually resulted in offences committed out there in the world off of YouTube?
There has been an instance recently which has resulted in someone being charged.
And that came about as a result of the challenge video culture?
Essentially, yes.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I go online to try and abuse kids.
Releasing a new safety video today, the National Crime Agency also warned of dares and tricks used to groom children. The new trend, they say, is kids live streaming videos from their phones, and that potentially gives the YouTube groomers a whole new playground. We've managed to track down one of the most prolific sources of these comments. He's approached lots of British children to do his challenge, but his Facebook profile says he is in the US and is 21 years old. His YouTube profile disappeared after we reported him, along with all of the other challenge videos, comments and accounts we flagged up. YouTube told us,
"Content that misleads or endangers children is abhorrent and unacceptable to us. In the past week alone, we've removed videos, turned off inappropriate comments, and terminated hundreds of accounts."
And it said today it will hire 10,000 more staff to police the site. Is it enough? Here's one final statistic. Since you started watching this report, more than 2,000 hours of fresh video just arrived on YouTube.
Jeff White reporting.
I've been